No, so we these are for our huddle cameras. So it's for education, and we use it to provide feedback for the umpires, and also if the talent team uses it for coaching purposes. And sometimes our match review panel would also use it for if there was an incident in the match. Yeah. Better off. I feel like I'm a little bit. Is that too dangerous for people? Like if you are there, they're not going to walk here. And then at least I don't have to put it up high. I can just sort of go that high. Yeah.
You'd better save my number because after you get used to the game, I'm gonna buy some food. go inside.
Feel like I don't want to leave this here and it's not going to reach anyway, so I better find the plug inside.
Sorry. It's okay. Put it back here. That would be better.
Did my message go through? Should I be more zoomed in? Should I be more zoomed in here?
For you. It's not important right now. Just remember to keep your movement smooth. Swimming is not good.
Good afternoon and welcome to AFLNT's coverage of round 15 action of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from Cazalys Arena in Palmerston on Larrakia country. My name is Will Zwar and I'm joined by Stu Davis in the commentary chair with me. How are you today, Stu?
Yeah, good, thank you, Will. Interesting game here at Cazalys Arena with Tiwi, of course, everything to play for. We're currently sitting in third place and Palmerston, who are today called North Darwin, which we'll get to in a moment. Really just playing to salvage something from the season and look forward to next season, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. They are. Look, it looks like it's relatively even in terms of how many youngsters there are on both sides. Just had a quick look. I think it's 6 under 18-year-olds, 6 under 20-year-olds to 5 under 20-year-olds, 6 in Palmerston colours or North Darwin colours today, and 5 in Tiwi Bombers colours. So it might be a bit closer than people think, but we also know that Palmerston have had a pretty rough year, and Tiwi their first time challenging. So honestly, I'm sort of expecting Tiwi to come away with the 4 points, but could be anything from 20 to 10 goals, 20 points to 10 goals, I think, today. Yeah,
it's hard to say, isn't it? And a couple of the Tiwi frontliners not in the side today. Parker and Darley, who will be missed for sure in the engine room in the middle, so it'll be interesting to see how they cover them.
And Anthony Mankara as well, with a 3-week suspension, will put him out until the first week of finals as well. So someone missing in their forward line, but they do have Stanley Tipalura playing up there. It looks like he's starting out of the goal square on the top right of your screen now. He's a well-known goal scorer as well, so should hopefully for their sake be able to cover that absence too. Looks like it'll be Spencer Fox and Jackson Broadbent in the middle today. As Fox gets the first hit out, popped up there was Scott Bedford in Tiwi Bombers colours. Then he's grabbed him by the leg, almost half did the I can't remember what he called, but it's sort of a dump tackle, and then sort of has pulled out of it, Bedford. Tap down there at time from Broadbent. Wharf is lurking. There's been a free kick called. Looks like it will go against Spencer Fox. 2 Tiwi Bombers at high half forward. And Nathaniel Cooper he's looking pretty ginger, so he passes the ball back to Thompson, who comes wide to Braden McLean. He's just beckoning some players over. Just a short one over the top. That time again back to Thompson. Now he goes inside 50, or going up for the fly there was Darcy. Here comes Paddy Heenan out of half-back. Fair bit of experience under him as they've injected him into the side the last few weeks. I think this is his 3rd game in Palmerston colours for the youth, Stu.
Yeah, and a journeyman across the NTFL, of course, does have strong family connections with Tiwi and spent some time playing for them as well. So interesting that the 34-year-old's still going around for the Magpies this season.
Broadbent got the tap down, comes out to Cooper, now back to McLean. They can load up from outside 50, or I think that was Darcy again, just sort of tripped over his own feet as Heenan, he'll get the handball off there to Rust, try to get it through. Now in the hands of Smith in the middle of the ground. Looks like he'll go for a lateral kick to half back. Wilson a kick ahead, he'll go further than that out to the wing, finds his target. Now they come down this near side, looking in there, gets it into Bonham's hands. Bonham, Ashton Hams from the Tiwi Bombers just works it down as Bonham was, he copped a bit of a heavy hit in that marking contest as poor Jimmy snaps it forward. Bedford takes the mark about 55 out from goal, rolls around, winds up, and then beautiful pass. He's just spotted Kim Cantilla in a fairly good position for the Bombers.
Yeah, Scott Bedford, one of those players that you'd expect to step up in the midfield today. He's been in terrific form over the last few weeks in this Bombers side, and look to him to get plenty of the football through the middle of the ground. Kim Cantilla, of course, the leading goal kicker for Tiwi this season and captain.
Comes in, kicks. Looking good, but just got a bit of a hook on it. Through for the first score of the day. 1 behind to the Tiwi Bombers. North Darwin yet to score.
Pretty good conditions. Warm, of course, but Yeah, nothing too serious. It's not November weather, that's for sure.
I think 33 degrees, on almost creeping up to 34 degrees, the screen said before we got into coverage today. So not a lot of shade out there, as we know. Be a hot day. You'd think the interchange rotation would be relatively high, as Jaden Davey has it at half back. Short one over the top to Elijah Davey. Now pushes it down. Katapoulis. Just assessing his options. Nothing really grabbing his attention, so he just goes a short one to right. Now he goes down the line. Gee, unsure if that was the option. He was looking for Lambton and Davey, but getting a hand in there was, I think it might have been Purintatameri Jr.
Yeah, I didn't mind him sharing around the back half and just trying to settle things down a bit rather than bomb long and get turned over early. So, yeah, not a bad option if they can keep possession and work their way down the field.
Palmerston working it forward now. Carlson Cantilla looking to gain possession, and he does. He'll push it into the middle of the ground. He's got runners on that outside. Cooper's one of them, almost tripped over his own feet. Looks to go back to Hams. And then Hams has got an option long. Ignores that, instead goes more into the middle of the ground. Bedford can turn around. Now he launches to the top of the square. Oh, not quite a mark yet. Tiwi just playing with it, tripping over their own feet. Palmerston have been pretty solid so far in their back line today. There'll be a free kick though, and looks like it's going to go, no, it'll be a ball up in the defensive 50 for the umpires as Broadbent gets a tap down. Handball tried to get out there to Daly. Won't be, and Jaden Davey, he picks it up as the Magpies try and get some run out there. Wilson just ball bounced the wrong side of his hands. Hams, his handball intercepted. Now Jaden Davey, who's been lively early though, that handball will miss Wolf and over for a boundary throw in. Yeah,
just not clean with their possession and disposal coming out of the back line there, and put themselves under pressure and saw it over the boundary line. So some good defensive work. Defensive pressure from the Tiwi forwards.
Ball goes up now. Tap down. And just getting boot to ball there was Tipalura, John Tipalura. Two of them out there today. Thaddeus Porgimi on high half forward again. Just get it inside 50. Good strong lead there. And again, the Bombers will have a shot to kick the first goal of the day.
Yeah, good build up and just made some space, didn't he? I think that's Darcy, Edward Darcy, his first game for Tiwi for the season, the young fella. So he's been playing some under-18s football with Wanderers, because Tiwi obviously don't have an under-18 side. So good to see him having a crack at Premier League football.
Another behind though, so the Bombers up by just 2. Leading North Darwin as they're being called today, as the football club celebrates their naming change room of their past North Darwin captain John Stokes, and just the club saw it as a good day and a good opportunity for them to connect to their North Darwin heritage.
So a turnover there, and the kick in fell short and tied it up, so some errors on both sides, but no damage done for Palmerston as they bring it away around the outer side of the ground.
Again, Magpies' defence has been holding really well in the first few minutes of this game. Only just 2 behinds through and quite a few forward 50 entries, but just need to be cut off in that centre corridor. As Bedford, he pushes it out wide to Thompson, and they'll push it out. The Bombers have liked that far side. Comes out now to Kurt Dunn. He'll go a short one over the top, and looks like he'll keep running Dunn, maybe to try and get it back. His teammate, though, looking further than that, goes into the middle of the ground. Now with Thompson again, who did keep running. Then he plays on, kicks it to the fat side. Good fist over the top that time from Dowsett. However, Kim Cantilla gets on it, snaps towards goal, straight over the umpire's head. And that is the opening goal of this one to the Tiwi Bombers. 1-2-8, first on the board.
Yeah, some interesting movement from the goal umpire. Obviously troubled by the sun, but put a hand up and made sure the vision was good. So, yeah, good finish, and it's taken them almost 8 minutes to get that first goal of the game on the board. But again, they were pretty meticulous in their build-up, picking up the loose players until the long kick in and then spilled on the ground. And we know what Kim Cantilla can do when he gets a sniff of the goals.
He absolutely had a shot earlier on which didn't quite hit the mark through for behind, but yeah, missed the easy one and got the hard one there. Good reward for effort in the early stage of this one. 8 minutes through this first quarter out at Cazalys Stadium in Palmerston.
Yeah, I almost feel like the Magpies just holding on here. They really haven't gone forward at all, so they need to get possession out of the middle here.
Here comes Barnett. He pushes it wide. Mark taken. This is Somerville. He goes to Wilson. He's got an option very tight in Catapulus. Don't think he'll go there, but that kick wasn't the option either. Thompson, he'll play on at half-back, looking down the line, one-on-one. Or is that a mark? I think it might be there, paid to Puruntatameri Jr. Thought he jumped a little bit early there, Stu, but it's come down and landed perfectly for him.
Fantastic, wasn't it? Good hands in the contest, and didn't take his eye off it as it came down as well. So they're deep in for another one.
Great mark by Thaddeus Portjimi. The youngsters putting on a show.
Yeah, 2 spectacular marks going forward in succession there, and Portjimi with a chance to put another goal on the board for Tiwi. He's been a consistent performer for them all season as well.
So in comes Thaddeus Portjimi. That one snuck it home. And that one has gone through for a goal. So Tiwi suddenly with 2 quick goals, extend the lead out to 14 points. North Darwin yet to get it inside their forward 50.
Yeah, just snuck inside that right-hand goalpost that time, but as we called it, terrific build-up, 2 spectacular marks, and the young Tiwi players putting on a show for the crowd here at Cazalys Arena. So Palmerston again, they got first possession out of the middle last time, had a couple of sideways kicks, but the money ball going forward just was easily read and chopped off and turned over, so they just need to be a bit better with their disposal going forward.
Bedford takes it relatively easy out of the middle. Another centre clearance, you'd think, going the Bombers' way down that far end. Good Tiwi, good North Darwin defence as a mark's taken there by Ferguson. Pushes out wide. Now they go to the back flank. Wharf takes it. And this is sort of where they've been held up a little bit. It's this next kick out of their defensive half where they've really struggled and turned it over a few times already today. Now with Klein. Again, he just looks to go long. Broadbent at the fall of it. Pickett just used his body well. He's given away a free kick though.
Gee, there's an argument for a 50-metre penalty there, I would have thought. But
I think Broadbent thought he got the hands in the back as well.
He obviously didn't see what went on behind him.
So Lang kicks it. Bravery at the ball there from Somerville. Earns himself the free kick. They'll go inside forward 50, you'd think, here. In fact, it's been a 50-metre penalty. I think might have been a bit of lip back from Carlson Cantilla to the umpire.
Well, they needed something to go their way, didn't they, the Magpies? They've just struggled to get inside forward 50, and in the end it's a 50-metre penalty that gets them there, and a shot at goal from the goal square. So a good response from them, and good to see the Magpies in this home game in round 15 get on the scoreboard and keep some interest in the game. Yeah,
it's been a tough couple of years for the Magpies. Obviously, they haven't featured in finals, I think, for at least as long as I've been in the territory, which is about 8 years. They haven't been in the finals in that period. I think the only club not to feature. And you know, they look for every opportunity they can to bring some cheer to their crowd. Today, obviously, with the celebration of North Darwin heritage, and obviously their past captain John Stokes, this would be a day that the club would want to get up for. So hopefully that goal was just the first of many to come for the afternoon. Obviously, with a game against the Buffaloes next week, there's another opportunity, but they don't come along all that often, as there's a free kick in the middle going to Broadbent.
Yeah, it's gone against Gillett, and I think he's hurt himself in that contest. See him limping in the centre of the ground there.
Heenan to Wilson to Davey. And then a handball, straight into the hands of Cooper. Almost taken in the tackle. Handball comes out, and then Cazalys gets it, and Cooper, ball came out of his hands. Here comes Blackney Noda. Had to take it and run, which is what he does. Into his defensive 50, crosses goal, switch, finds Pickett well. He pushes it out of there, defensive 50 into space. Picking it up on the run was done, and he got it off there to Apwatimi. Now to half forward. Good mark from Bedford. Was looking for Phillips on the run through. Instead, Phillips tells him to push it out into the pocket. That's where he'll go now. Here we go. Snap off hands. Across the face through for behind. Kincantilla, probably a bit too reactive there. His defender, I think it might have been Gillett. He got in front. In fact, I think it was Dowsett who's picking up the ball now for the kick out, number 32. He was probably leading the race for that ball there. Kincantilla just kept in his dust a bit, Stu. Yeah,
Dowsett's been really solid for the Magpies all season, and he's a reliable defender, so they look to him to just set the tone in the back line for them.
Ball will come back. They had Hams a bit further back. They should have gone to instead. Davey intercepts. Now the Magpies are away. It'll come back to Davey, who's kept running. Look at him put on the Jets. He'll take it, bounce. Now from inside the square, pushes it in that centre corridor. Goal square was open. Can it bounce the right way? No, just a behind for the youngster. Fresh off the Essendon list, and looks like he's got pace to burn still. McLean's kick was smothered there by Cazalys. Cazalys has done the hard work here, and then wraps up. Ball goes over the boundary line. Umpire will call for a free kick against him.
It's out on the full.
Come off his ankle and, as you said, out on the full. So McLean probably lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a bit casual in the back half, and terrific efforts from Cazalys. Unlucky in the end. The ball just ricocheted off his shin over the boundary line.
So ball comes in and long. Somerville gets it to Elijah Davey, and then he pushes it into the forward pocket again. Cazalys, he and McLean are getting into him. McLean's late arm there probably warranted a bit of agitating towards Cazalys. Crowd calling for a 50. McLean a bit too casual in that one as well, Stu.
Gee, I think there was almost a case for a 50. It was clear late contact and high, and just didn't like being out-positioned by Cazalys, obviously there, who's starting to give the Magpies a bit of spike up in the forward half.
Tight angle. He pushes it through. Just to behind.
This is better from the Magpies, though. They're getting their hands on the ball and getting the ball in deep in the forward half, and giving themselves some chances to score.
16 minutes gone in this first quarter. 7-point margin. Tiwi dominating the first 10 minutes or so. It's been pretty slow since then. Pickett played on and then dropped the ball. Gets around Lambton, and then he just pushes it long down the line. Apwatimi came off his hands. Then Bedford gets it. Wrapped up. Arm was pinned. Had to get a kick away. Lambton will pick it up now. Spins inside out. Then pushes it forward. Pickett intercepts, and he'll turn and go. Handball over the top. Looking for Dunn. Dunn gives it off to a runner in Phillips, his first touch of the day. Kicked a pretty handy goal for them last week, almost a sealer. Hubert Cunningham it is in 52. He pushes it inside 50. His kick not great though, just a grub. They've got the numbers here. Darcy handballed it to his own advantage. Maybe should have used the other teammate he had in support as Palmerston nullify that contest.
Yeah, a bit of under-18s football there, I think, from Darcy. The hand pass to yourself and run on. But, again, Palmerston in their attempts to build up into the forward line. This time Lambton just missed the target, hit the opposition, and it's turned over, and all of a sudden it's up the other end of the ground.
Ball comes up. Just picking it up, there's Thompson. He'll snap towards goal. Very wide, though. Umpire runs towards it and calls it through from behind, though. There's a whistle blown. I'm not sure if it'll be brought back or if we'll have a kick out.
Well, it's coming right to the goal line, but I don't know what the whistle was for, because Thompson looked like he got through everyone without being touched, but obviously there was something there, and something again which caused the ire of the umpires, and a 50-metre penalty, and what Palmerston really didn't need, or because they'd been pretty impressive that 5 or 6 minutes before that.
Yeah, it takes the margin out to 13 points, which isn't a hell of a lot, but in hot conditions like it is out there in Palmerston today, that margin can slowly creep up and become more and more difficult to bring back. North Darwin with the 1 goal. Tiwi Bombers, that's their 3rd one. As you're watching AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from Cazalys Arena in Palmerston. Broadbent in the middle for the Bombers. He's been probably he'll probably be the main ruckman of the day, just given his height and his regularity in the role, as Phillips' kick into the forward line goes to Patrick. Took an uncontested mark, went to move it on. Palmerston been pretty sloppy. That one to Somerville. If they can get it into their forward line, when they had it there a few minutes ago, they seem to be able to lock it in, but the trouble has been getting it up there, as that kick is just intercepted, uncontested to Carlson Cantilla, just the backside of the wing. Pushes it just a little bit up the ground to Phillips, but there'll be a 50-metre penalty. I think it might have been against Barnett for just encroaching over the mark a little bit. Umpire's just letting him know what's happened there.
So Phillips is taking the kick, so might have been the late contact on him, but again, good delivery inside forward 50, isn't it? Plenty of space for the Tiwi players to run into, and the Palmerston defence just not locking on close enough at the moment.
Kim Cantilla with it very wide, just near the apex of the 50-metre arc and the boundary line. Very tight angle. Kicked 1 today. Kicks through. Umpire's moving back, hit the post on the way through.
Another close one. So a couple of misses for Kim Cantilla. That one a bit more difficult, but yeah, normally he's a dead eye on shots for goal.
As the Magpies move out of their defensive goal square, again just sloppy, not really looking for, or maybe they are looking for a target, but doesn't seem to be the right one a lot of the time. And yeah, a lot of Tiwi Bombers around the footy at that contest.
Yeah, setting up pretty well behind the ball, Tiwi, and you see Carlson Cantilla across half-back, who's been fantastic all year, and a different role for him this year. He mainly played in the ruck the previous season or two, but he's had that role across half-back this season and just been fantastic for them.
Broadbent gets it down. Magpies looking to get it out of their defensive 50. Now with Wilson, umpire blows the whistle. They've been hot on it today. Be a free kick going to Somerville against Phillips. Pushes it down the line. Mark taken there by Puran Tatameri Jr. And again, it looks like they've just picked out their opposition perfectly. He'll go back now to Blackney Noda. Now, Braden Somerville gets it to McLean. Puran Tatameri Jr. pushes it to Pickett at high half forward. Phillips tells him to go long, and that's where he does go. Looking for Cantilla in the goal square. Ball hits the deck. Tipalura at the fall of it, overran it, then picked up there. Oh, big strong tackle there from Declan Barnett. Earns himself a free. The Magpies it is, looking to try and get something late as we tick to the 22-minute mark of this quarter. Just the 1 goal off a 50-metre penalty and a free kick for them so far. Need to put more pressure in their forward line.
Good efforts from the big fella Gillett then. Got his hands to the ball, almost could have been paid the mark, but went to ground and got up again and put the pressure on, saw the boundary throw in when Tiwi could have taken it away with another turnover.
Phillips trying to almost keep it in with his feet there. Needs to be careful. Doesn't get done for kicking in danger. As Elijah Davey gets it away and then tunnelled afterwards. I think that'll be a free kick to the Magpies, but downfield, now in the hands of Gillett. Just looks to boom it inside their forward 50. Ryan Wharf probably kept a little bit out of position, though he's not used to playing in the forward line. Hams now has it in the back pocket, pushes it out to McLean, who's been sloppy. What'll he do? He goes back to Hams, looking for the switch potentially here. No, just inching and creeping forward. And again, a short pass, made sure of it to Thompson. But that will be the quarter-time score, 1-2-8 to North Darwin. The Tiwi Bombers 3-4-22, Stu.
Yeah, and Palmerston had their hands on the ball a bit, but just missing targets going forward. And you could see in the last few minutes there, it was indicative of what's happened the whole game. Tiwi players just run into space and there's no Palmerston player running with them, no North Darwin player. So, you know, they're getting easy possessions to take them forward. So Palmerston just need to tighten up on the one-on-ones around the ground and use the ball a bit better themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pretty rough sort of quarter for them. I think they've only had 2 or 3 inside 50s. They were able to keep it in there when they did get it in, but sort of similar to the Buffaloes last night, they just couldn't really get a chain of play beyond 3 or so disposals. So that'll definitely be the message, I think, at quarter time for them. For the Bombers, it'll probably be a little bit more to wake up to themselves, and you know they know they're a talented side. Haven't really shown it in their first 20 minutes, but we'll see what they come out with after quarter time. We'll bring you that quarter time break now.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
will.
Welcome back to Cazalys Arena for this round 15 2024-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League clash. It's the Palmerston Magpies, or North Darwin as they've elected to be called for today, up against the Tiwi Bombers. And the Tiwi, of course, third place on the ladder coming into the game, and strong favourites to win. They hold a margin of a couple of goals at quarter time, but the Magpies have had their chances, Will, in that first quarter.
Yeah, look, they didn't have a heap of opportunity, but when they got it in their forward line, the Bombers, and probably more the Bombers' back line, had trouble getting it out of their defensive 50, a bit of sloppy play there. But yeah, I think that the message from Mark Tyrrell at quarter time would have been, let's try and make sure that we're getting that third and fourth pass in the Lincoln chain right. And we know if we can get it into our forward line, we're half a chance to score. We've got the talent down there. It's just making sure they get it down there. As the ball comes out to Jaden Davey now, trying to paddle it to himself. Elijah Davey, ball didn't quite get into his hand. Bombers work it forward now with Cooper Daly. He goes inside 50 now. Brian Wharf came in from the side. As Connor Wright gives off a little fend off. Now comes back to Patrick in that centre corridor. Oh, gee, a lot of Bombers putting some pressure on. Be a free kick going to the Magpies.
Yeah, just a bit of high tackle there. Lucky he went right back into the traffic, and it was all 1 against 4. So a let off there, and Palmerston have worked it around the outer side of the ground. But this is where they come unstuck, just trying to find the next target. And yeah, that doesn't help when it slips through the hands either.
Scott Bedford probably been one of the more influential players on the ground today. He'll get a free kick. Goes to Phillips. You have to really break into this game. Goes inside 50 now. Cantilla, just beautifully body positioned behind his opponent, and ball sat perfectly in his lap, although he's given away a free kick. Maybe a bit too strong with the hands there. Dowsett goes out from the back pocket now. Again, another fist over the top. Palmerston, or the North Darwin players, not hungry at the ball as it comes to them, just waiting a bit too much for it to land in their hands.
Terrific tackle, wasn't it? Just pinned one arm, and Catapulus had no chance to get rid of it. But yeah, Bedford been impressive again so far in this game.
Looking for Daly, just bounces out of his hands. Kept it alive though, got boot to ball. That's very well done. He finds Stanley Tipalura deep in the forward pocket. And they are deep pockets down that end from memory at Palmerston. Looks like he's going to try the drop punt from there. Should get a pretty good look at it from this angle. In he comes, kicks it. That one's just sliced across the face of goal and won't register a score. Elijah Davey will be brought back. No, there's a 50-metre penalty against the Port Jamie. I think he and Kim Cantilla just didn't quite work out who was going to be standing on the mark.
Yeah, you've got to give space, obviously, from the boundary line, and I don't know if he was called to and didn't move. That might have been what happened there, but gives Palmerston the chance to move the ball forward, and this is a promising build-up. If this one can hit, and once again, Carlson Cantilla just reads it beautifully.
Comes to Bedford at half-back, he'll play on. Short one to Phillips. Pushes it over the top to the runner in Cooper. I thought he was going to keep going there, but no, he goes back on his mark. I thought about it twice, then the third time he goes over the top to Cooper Daly. Is he taking a mark? Just thought Davey might have gotten a fingertip to it. Told to play on. Kicks into the man on the mark there, and now it comes to Wright, who's been pretty good for the Magpies today. Kicks it out wide looking for Lambton. Comes through hands, and now Ashton Hams was a free kick going the way of Nathaniel Lambton. Hams had to chase and cover his opposition, which allowed Lambton to get on the move. His kick, though, intercepted in the forward line there by Braden Somerville. And now he pushes it out wide, finds Cooper again.
Busy player, Nathaniel Cooper. He's strung a few games together, strong games together, so it just gives him plenty of energy around the middle of the field.
Pickett's kick to Blackney Noda. Just had a bit too much on it, but Blackney Noda uses his teammate and support and gains some space. Now goes to Thompson, who's got a paddock of space in the middle of the ground. Pushes it out the far side, zigzagging across as easy as you like across Cazalys Stadium. Cooper tries to turn his man inside out now. Now he goes inside 50 into the hands of the opposing fullback Dowsett. Goes to Heenan, who goes one out over the top, and again just lacking in intensity, the Magpies, as Thompson comes in and takes an easy intercept mark. Yeah,
just flat-footed, weren't they, waiting for the ball to come instead of attacking it.
Now he goes inside 50, punched over the boundary line from the Magpies, and Brady Ferguson there doing the spoil.
Yeah, same patterns early in this third quarter. Palmerston going forward, just unable to hit the targets, and the Tiwi defenders just picking them off, really, taking those intercept marks and sending the ball back.
Ball goes up now. Tap down over the top. Phillips picks it up. Snaps towards goal. Last line of defence there. Brady Ferguson got hands to it, and that's an awful kick from full-back. It was Connor Wright whose ball went over the boundary line, and I think it'll be Edward Darcy taking the kick from a very tight angle.
Just no pressure, was it? There was 3 or 4 of them there. Just had to hit the target to work it out, and overcooked it and over the boundary line. So it's be really frustrating for Mark Tyrrell.
Looks like Darcy's going to open up the angle and try and snap it through, although he didn't open up a hell of a lot. That one very wide and through for a behind.
Yeah, just across the face of goal that time. But, yeah, normally you might think they'd run around a bit more than that, but now the Magpies trying to work out of defence again. Oh, tripped over his own feet a bit there, Katapoulis, but gets it long, but it's just a bomb forward once again, and well read and picked off by Kurt Dunn in the back half. Now with Hams in a fair bit of space again, goes to his partner in crime in the back line, Braden McLean. He'll look to go over the top now, looking for Purin Tadameri. He'll play on, takes a bounce, inside 50 he goes. Left foot towards goal. Aussie snuck it home? No, just over the face. I think Thaddeus Porgimi was trying to claim the mark, but it's been a free kick paid in the goal square. Yeah, a bit of holding in there. The big fella for the Magpies, Brady Ferguson, just really worried about his opponent, Kim Cantilla, and just manhandled him a bit as the ball was coming in. So, and another 50-metre penalty. It'll be a 2-metre penalty effectively, but we'll put Cantilla directly in front. So it's just a couple of errors that Palmerston didn't need early in this second quarter. Puts through his second of the day, Kim Cantilla. The Bombers' fourth. And Stu, I think of the 5 goals we've had today, 3 of them have been from free kicks, and I think 2 of those have been from 50-metre penalties as well. Yeah, exactly right. There's one each. That certainly the North Darwin goal was the result of a 50-metre penalty, and yeah, just getting a bit handsy, if you like, when they don't need to, and instead of playing the solid attack the football. But yeah, Palmerston again just turning it over way too many times and taking the pressure off. 21-point margin out at Cazalys Stadium. North Darwin with just the 1 goal. They would want to get the next one before this margin gets any worse for them. Handball out to Bedford. Did a little 1-2 with Darcy, but it hasn't been as smooth as they would have liked as the Magpies get ball out there. I think that was Davey who might have hit an ankle or something. He's up and about now again, but Darcy works it, and then dropping the football there was Tipalura. Ball just dribbles through, now comes to Patrick, gets a handball out wide, no, intercepted. He'll have another crack. He's wrapped up in a tackle there from Hubert Cunningham.
And we'll have a boundary, sorry, not a boundary throw in, a ball up on half back. Ball tapped down straight away looking for Potter, but instead it's Bedford who gets onto it, goes inside 50, fisted over the boundary line by the Magpie defenders.
Yeah, good solid defence then. Safety first, just kill that one over the boundary line and start again. But good energy from the small Tiwi players around the ball up the field there to put the pressure on Patrick. Looked like he had an out with the hand pass and just got smothered just by the enthusiasm of the Tiwi players around the ball.
Boundary, not a boundary throw, and a ball up against you in the centre corridor. Inside 50 for the Bombers. What can they do from here? Not a lot as Wright gets it out again to Dowsett, and the Magpies working it out that far side. Now with Agnew. Pushes it down and finds Rust. But Dowsett's stuck now. Back to Agnew again. Goes to half forward, though no one there, and Hams takes an easy uncontested mark. He'll work back, and it doesn't look like there's any Magpies further forward than the halfway mark when they started that chain on half back, which meant that they didn't really have anything to go to up forward. Not a good kick as it bounces off the chest there of Braden Somerville and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you're a bit torn, aren't you? You want your players to push back and help with the defence, but when you turn it round and look to go forward, there's nothing there, and that's what the Magpies players had in front of them. So had no choice but to bomb, and Ashton Hams is the expert at just sitting himself at the fall of the ball coming in.
Magpies now trying to get something of it at half forward. Ball goes through. Wrapped up in the tackle there. Good work from Bedford, just to make sure that Magpies don't work it forward easy. Heenan's come right up into the contest as well. Stu, bit of experience there. He's sort of been playing in the back line for most of the game so far. Won't have an impact on this one at this stage though. Picked up and just belted out of there by Potter. Gets it very, very wide over the boundary line, and that might go over the fence. It does. Let's see what the umpire, how they call that one. I think it'll be a free kick going to Ashton Hams. Yeah,
their umpire's eyes light up when those ones happen directly sideways, no one in the vicinity. So predictable free kick paid.
Goes to McLean. They'll look to switch it now. Blackney Noda over to Phillips. Oh, good mark. Outstretched he was. He'll go over the top to Thompson now, though. Patrick has just jumped in front of him. Now goes inside 50. There's a target there finally in Gillett, but he's got two to beat. McLean and Blackney Noda should make easy work of it, and they've got Hams back in support, though that kick again from McLean, a bit sloppy over his hands, made Hams work. He'll go back to McLean, you'd think. In fact, he's gone to Phillips instead. Now to Blackney Noda out on that far side. A lot of possessions for the Bombers defenders. Picked up there by Daly. Down the line he goes, finds Pickett. Pickett will play on with his rangy left foot inside 50. Finds Cantilla on a perfect lead. Deep into the pocket, but should be a favourable angle when he gets back onto his line.
That's a beautiful pass, isn't it? Just swinging wide on the left boot there, Marlon Pickett, and got Daly on the lead, didn't have to change stride at all, and took it strongly in the hands as we've come to expect.
So Cantilla already with two today.
Terrific view of this from the camera angle.
Comes in to extend the lead out now to 27 points, and that one, as you said, Stu, perfect view, straight through the middle, didn't deviate at all.
Not 1 centimetre, so that's more like what we expect from Kim Cantilla, and he's a live wire in the forward half for Tiwi. He not only takes those strong marks, but he gets his skates on, gets moving, and gives energy in there, and he's tough to match up on, and already 3 goals on the board in this first half. And I said earlier in the call that he's the Tiwi leading goal kicker this season, and just continuing on. Although he's got a few to catch up with. Calder kicked 11 or something last night for Saints.
11 goals last week, which I think took him to 52 so far for the season. Next closest two were Farah and Matt Shannon from Districts on 26. So a long way to catch him. They'll need to average about 9 goals a game to catch him from here. Broadbent, and I think it was Ferguson who got the hit out there as Magpies move forward. Davey nearly cops some pressure in the back from Pickett, but the umpires said boundary throw in as the ball trickles over.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for Davey, isn't it? Marlon Pickett straight out of the AFL. You'd think he'd come home from Essendon and have the chance to run around and pick up some kicks, but they've gone hard on him with Marlon Pickett.
Taken out of there, snap towards goal. Has that gone through? Oh! Magpies get their first of the second quarter, courtesy of Tom Gillett, straight out of the ruck. Beautiful goal. That gives them reason to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a big, strong player, isn't he? And used all of that strength then to work his opponent out of position in the ruck contest and took it himself and swung around and had just had enough on it to get over the reaching hands of Blackney Noda in the goal square. But a good result there for the Magpies, and they get one back in about halfway through this second quarter.
Yeah, I think they needed to get an organic goal as well, not one from a free kick, just to give them a little bit more confidence that, you know, they're not as bad a side as maybe they potentially fear, and that, you know, if they get a few goals string together, a few possessions in the chain, then they'll be okay and really challenge the Magpies, who probably haven't brought out a performance we would have expected for them today. Ball comes out to Broadbent. He'll move down now. Kick from Cooper will go deep inside 50, looking for poor Jimmy. Jumps a little early. Wharf also just a little bit early, runs into the boundary. Umpire almost. Looks like he's come up a little bit tight there, as we'll have a boundary throw in just outside 50 from the Bombers' goal.
Yeah, quick movement into the forward area for Tiwi that time, and Palmerston just hanging on as see Ryan Wharf got a bit of a limp up there in the front of screen.
Ball at the bottom of the pack, another ball up outside 50 for the Bombers, down the Bombers' end in their forward line. Free kick for a high, and it will go the way of the big fella Broadbent. Not looking to move quickly. Wonder if he'll go back and just take his shot, or if he's... no, he almost looked for a runner there.
He's a pretty good kick, Broadbent. He's a big fella, but yeah, he's a pretty solid kick and reliable.
Looking like a relatively calm day as far as the wind's concerned. That one goes to the top of the square. Crumbing it, Thaddeus Portjimi rolls around. That one over the top. What a goal from Thaddeus Portjimi. His second of the day as well, and replies to North Darwin's goal just a few moments ago. Yeah,
but gee, just the Palmerston defence just all standing still really as the ball came off hands, and there was a couple of options for the Tiwi players, but Portjimi just too slick and too fast, and had plenty of time in the end to swing it round and get it through for another Tiwi goal. Gets his second for the game.
Yeah, a little bit too easy for him there, but a magnificent goal, and we know he's very talented. I think he's taken a few speckies, both today and throughout the season, and kicked a few ripping goals too.
Yeah, he's one of those players that bring people through the gates, isn't he? Just really exciting, as well, half the Tiwi side is really when they're up and running. So it's terrific that they're going to be playing finals football this season. It should really draw the crowds in.
As Pickett's in the ruck and then getting the ball on centre wing. Goes to Cooper. Cooper goes wide to McLean. Had to work inside, and then his kick just over the top of John Tipalura's hands. Now spills through. Heenan's got a few numbers to work with, though he just went to space. Now coming through is Connor Wright. Pushes into the middle of the ground. Smith. Ball in hand, hesitated a little bit. Now plays on as Kurt Dunn moves off the mark. He pushed it to a one-on-one. Carlson Cantilla. Maybe hands in the back against Davey, but no, umpire lets it go through. Hams takes the mark now as they go for the switch back to Dunn. And back to Hams. He finds Cantilla again, or Davies put some pressure on. Try to get a handball through. Now with Apwatimi. Ball pops up. Taken down there by Elijah Davey. Umpire will call for a ball up. A little bit of frustrations brewing potentially for Jaden Davey there. He's quite often, I guess, he's just probably not executing the ball and the plays he'd like to. Pickett takes it out of the ruck now, kicks it wide, straight into the lap of Ferguson. He'll play on and launch it. Blackney Nody, you'd think, in prime position here. Gets a fist up to it. Although Davey lurking, snaps on goal. Through for a behind.
Yeah, I was thinking the long bomb in wasn't really the best option for Palmerston, but it came to ground and straight to Davey, who probably should have had a better outcome than that. But it was a promising build-up, but just a shot offline.
Looking like he could be potentially the game changer, Davey, if he can just string a few of those kicks together a little better. He could really bring Palmerston into it.
Well, he's putting defensive pressure on up in the forward line as well, which is really important for the Magpies. Oh, terrific by Bedford.
Who's got some strapping on his head as well. Kicking board, not great though. Here comes Wilson as the Magpies give away a free kick for a high tackle and another 50-metre penalty, probably about the 4th or 5th we've seen today. So umpires keeping hot on it. And it'll be Kurt Dunn looking to move it quickly inside 50. Found, I think it might be Kim Cantilla. They just found a little bit of space.
Yeah, it wasn't the best looking kick off the boot, bit of a floater, but straight into the hands, and happy to share it again. Hubert Cunningham out on the lead this time.
Probably improved the distance by about 1.5 metres there, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you wouldn't think Cantilla would pass off too often inside 50.
Cunningham's kick went the distance, but just offline. 6-6-42. They lead North Darwin as they're being known today. 2-3-15. And it's a 27-point lead. Sorry, 27-point lead, yes, as the scoreboard is updated. And as you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season here from Cazalys Arena, it's the Magpies trying to work it forward from half back. Bedford tried to get it there, but just popped out of his arms again. Now free kick will go the way of Barnett. He's got an option down there. It took him a while to get to it, and I think Pickett's going to put some pressure on. Needed to go there a little bit quicker, did Barnett. I think Pickett might have given away the free kick for front-on contact.
Yeah, just no contact with the ball there, and took his opponent out. So free kick's paid, and a good snatch in the forward half again. It's the big fella Gillett again, I think. So that was the free kick and quick use of the ball, and Gillett showing some strength up forward and takes a nice strong mark. And he was the goal kicker earlier in this quarter for the Magpies, and another chance.
And I think the first quarter went for about 24 minutes, Stu, so 1.5 minutes left, you'd think, of play here potentially. Both sides have almost doubled their score in this second quarter. As Gillett lines up, kicks.
Oh, yeah. Umpire
doesn't move at all. He gets through his second and reduces the margin back to 21 points.
Fantastic. Great set shot goal there from Big Tom Gillett, and he's a focal point that they've been needing up forward there, and kicks his second for the quarter and gives some hope for Palmerston. You look at that scoreboard, and it's Tiwi double their score, but it's only a 21-point margin as we get close to half-time, and the Magpies certainly well in the contest.
Yeah, it feels like the Bombers are gettable today. They're probably not playing a brand of footy, and they have sort of been a bit of a side this year, bar 1 or 2 games where they've thumped their opposition, where if they're playing against the good side, they'll rise to the occasion, but they can be caught lacking against a lesser opposition, as it sort of seems like they are today. A free kick will be paid the Bombers' way. They'll be trying to snatch a late one here. And is that another 50-metre penalty? No, just trying to work out where the mark is. Or it'll be another ball up in the middle of the ground.
Really not sure what's going on there, as umpire Sam Cunningham's called for the ball back, and just complete restart. Anyway, no one advantaged out of it, obviously, but bit baffling.
So ball up in the middle of the ground. Deja vu as Wilson paddles it forward. Phillips cops it on the outside, then gets a tackle. Both he and Wilson looked at the umpire to wait and see what he'd say, but he let it go. Bedford now paddles it to half forward. He'll pick it up off the ground now. Got some bounces. His handball not good for Cooper. We'll have to work it back to Hams, you'd think. Again, just didn't quite hit the target. Hams nearly slipped over, but kept his feet as the siren goes for half-time. And a 21-point margin, 3-3-21 North Darwin, trailing the Tiwi Bombers 6-6-42.
Yeah, so just 3 goals to 2 in that quarter in Tiwi's favour, but I think Mark Tyrrell and his coaching staff at the Magpies would be pretty happy that they've been able to stay in the contest and give themselves a chance going into the second half. And again, you know, we repeat that if they can just tidy up some of their disposal, hit some targets going forward, turn over the ball a little bit less, they're right in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the Bombers, for their sake, need to be careful they don't play themselves out of form. Doesn't get it any easier for them next week as they play Southern Districts. And keeping in mind as well, they've got a bye still to come, so they need to bank up the wins if they're to try and finish in that top 3 with a double chance come final side. But we'll bring you the second half after this half-time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to AFL&T's coverage of round 15 action of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season here from Cazalys Arena in Palmerston. On Larrakia country. I'm Wills Bar, with me is Stu Davis, and it's the Tiwi Bombers with a 21-point lead over North Darwin, as they're being called today, in honour of their past captain, their past North Darwin captain, John Stokes, and also just paying homage to their North Darwin heritage, the Magpies today. A little bit of work ahead of them, Stu. They came good sort of in the second half of that second quarter, but otherwise, it's been a bit of a tough day out there in the sun at Palmerston. Yeah, they've stayed in touch, haven't they? Got a couple of goals, got the late one in the second quarter to keep them in touch, but Tiwi not the free-flowing outfit that we've come to expect, and Palmerston just clinging on at the moment, but it's great to see them staying in the contest. Good strong tackle there from Bedford, who you'd think would get the first clearance of the second half from here. Probably been the best player on the ground for mine this afternoon, as he goes laterally out to Hams. Pushes it forward now to Daly. And the Bombers themselves, they haven't had their best day either. I mean, they haven't been woeful, but probably just been a bit lazy at times, and you'd think the 21-point margin at half-time would be something they'd be very, very keen to build up and gain some much-needed percentage. Yeah, and almost an example as you spoke there, Will, just a bit of a lazy hook around the corner out in front of Tipalura, who didn't really have a chance to get to it. So it's a boundary throw in the right forward pocket, and Tiwi reset, but you can see there's plenty of people around the ball. Ball pops up now. Big strong tackle there from Daly on his opposition, keeping the ball inside their forward 50. Ball up. Ball comes down over the top there from Barnett. In fact, I think it might have been Ferguson, but Magpies get it out. McLean takes a mark on high half forward for the Bombers. They go inside 50 straight away onto the chest there of Stanley Tipalura. A bit quieter today. Yeah, that was a better entry, wasn't it? A bit more purposeful. McLean, he took it, went straight away, and it drilled the pass into Tipalura, and he just had to take it down low. But yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Stanley so far today, but we know that he can kick a goal, and he's kicking from inside 50, albeit that he's out close to the boundary line. And just Ashton Hams in the foreground giving some advice to one of the younger players as Tipalura kicks truly, but not truly enough behind, opens the scoring in this second half. Just faded to the near side for him. Paddy Heenan doing kick-out duties for the Magpies. He doesn't really like what he's got, so goes back to Heenan. Heenan will push it out onto the University side. The marker couldn't be taken. Now Elijah Davey at half-back. Pushes it down a little bit down, looking for Deacon Somerville. Hits his chest as he rolls over the paint. I think that will be a boundary throw-in. Yeah, just got his hands to it. Couldn't keep hold of it, unfortunately, for Palmerston. But they almost backed themselves into a corner with the short kick into the back pocket from the kick in from the behind, and then everything closed up in front of them. So they had to try to work it across the ground and get out the other side. Ferguson again getting in front of Broadbent. Elijah Davey takes it over the boundary line and will reset with another boundary throw-in. And I think the word from Mark Tyrrell at half-time would have been to, as we said before the break as well, but just to get on their bike a bit. They're not out of this contest. Despite being more than half of the Bombers score now, I should say less than half the Bombers score now, they're still in it, you feel, and I think a few players, if they can get some things together. Jaden Davies, one who's in the middle of your screen now. It's good in the first half. Oh, nearly a great mark there from, I think it was from Kurt Dunn. Couldn't be taken though. Magpies try and work it down. Bedford will go back to Hams. It's a handball out now. It's done again. Bounces just inside the field of play, but yeah, if the Magpies can get a few chains together, they'll be back in this contest in no time. Yeah, well, that's what they need, hands on the ball and
and hitting up some targets, but they're just struggling to get their hands on the ball at the moment. And on the other hand, Tiwi have had plenty of it in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter, but again, just been a bit untidy and a bit lax with their disposal a lot of the time.
Broadbent gets hands down. Daly tackled almost as soon as he picked it up from Wilson. Ball wrapped up. Another ball up, just inside 50 for the Bombers. Kicked 3 goals in each of their quarters today, Stu, and for North Darwin, 1 in the first 2 in the second. So a relatively consistent game in terms of scoring momentum. Mark taken there on the wing from Dunn. He'll push it into the middle of the ground looking for McLean. One-hander. Back with the flight. Now he goes to half forward. Oh, just over the top there of Davey as Daly rolls around. His kick, though, not good at all. A little bit too quick decline. And the intercept mark will be pushed out now. I think this is Connor Wright in that back pocket. He goes up now looking for Rust. Told to play on. Tipalura puts on a bit of chase. Token pressure. Now he goes across looking for the switch and he finds Elijah Davey. Goes back to Rust. Kept running. He'll push it down. This is a little better from the Magpies. Connor Wright directing the play. Katapoulis, I think he wants them a little bit further and a little wide. He just wants to go long and try and gain some ground. Was looking for big Tom Gillett, who's kicked 2 goals today. Wanting them to congregate at his feet, but the ball finds itself at the bottom of a pack.
Yeah, Palmerston won't be unhappy with that. They've got a stoppage in their forward half and just need to find a way to get their hands on it and work it out of here. And they've got the chance now. Oh, just a little fumble and it'll be a kicking in danger free kick, I would think.
Yeah, unlucky from Davey, but it was definitely there as Bedford will take the kick. Goes to Hams at half back. Pushes it to Pickett. Now out to Cooper. Further to McLean. And then a bit too easy down that far side. Few uncontested marks in a row. Now inside 50 they go. Spills through hands. Taken there by Kim Cantilla. His handball errant and into the hands of the North Darwin defence. Bedford getting involved again, putting some pressure on. Ball wrapped up.
So another stoppage, but yeah, the build-up for Tiwi, they had 3 or 4 just uncontested possessions, allowed them to work that 150 metres up the ground.
Kicked off the ground there from Thompson, out on the full. A bit too ambitious there. 22 points the margin, almost 7.5 minutes into this third quarter here. Heenan will play on and cross goal looking for a switch. Oh, just turns it over.
Wow, it's almost like he forgot what jumper he was wearing, Paddy Heenan. He drilled that straight onto the chest of Kim Cantilla and there was no Magpie player anywhere near.
Cantilla will open up the angle, snap on goal and through as easy as you like. Absolute gift there from Heenan. As Cantilla, that's number 4 for the afternoon for him, and you don't want to be giving it to him that easy because he'll make you pay every time. Yes,
and interesting fact, Kim Cantilla has kicked the first goal of every quarter, so the pattern continues. And yeah, that one was just a gift, wasn't it? Poor old Paddy Heenan. Just he was always looking to switch across the face of goal, but I'm not sure his teammates were in tune with him about how he wanted that to work that one out. So the goal there to Tiwi just stretches the margin out to 28 points, and you know, Palmerston really need to score next, otherwise it's getting in real danger area.
At the reset, it'll be Spencer Fox resuming ruck duties. He started there and then sort of went a little bit missing as they've experimented a little bit. So too of the Bombers, with Pickett doing a little bit of rucking, but they get it out of the middle. Here comes Cooper with pace again, just almost check sides it into the forward pocket. Tipalura wasn't able to get hands on it, and Heenan again, he's dropped that one. Probably should have taken it, would have been able to explode out of the blocks, but it rolls over the boundary line. Not a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, Dowsett again involved deep in defence for the Magpies.
Broadbent ends up with ball in hand. Phillips paddles it through. Thaddeus Podjimi tried to get boot to ball there. Now Phillips does. Heenan takes the mark that time. He'll try it again. He'll take a bounce. Get a little bit more ground. Now pushes it outside 50. Over the top. Hams would get to it first, you think. Gets a handball through there to Cunningham. Cunningham has to work backwards. And it'll be a free kick going to Hams, who I think got dumped as he got rid of that one by Somerville.
Yeah, some pretty solid contact, and Somerville was concerned straight away, so he's very slow getting to his feet, Ashton Hams. He's a pretty tough nut. Of course, he's a former Palmerston Magpies player. Gone across to Tiwi this season, but yeah, he's in a little bit of bother, but not too much because he's wanting the ball to take the kick.
Pushes it back into play. Davey there instantly to put pressure on Dunn. He goes back into the middle of the ground, now to McLean. They'll look to switch across the middle, now to Pickett. He takes one bounce. Again, a paddock of space, not enough pressure on the ball carrier. Too often the tail of the tape today. Is that kick in a full forward, almost marked by Broadbent and then spills over. Not sure if that one's registered a score. I think it might have just gone the behind side of the post.
Yeah, Broadbent had a pretty good piece of that, didn't he? Almost pulled it in, but the Palmerston defence worked pretty hard to work it through for a rush behind.
And Palmerston suddenly seem caught up in their back line. They just can't break out, can they, Stu?
No, that's right. Tiwi set up really well behind the play and got plenty of numbers there. There's very difficult to thread their way through.
Seems like the Bombers as well have a lot of natural defenders or players who've played a fair bit of defence that it's almost instinctive to them that when they don't have the ball that they set up, which hasn't really been a common feature of their game in the past, but definitely on show today with, as we've seen this quarter in particular, the Magpies just can't get it out of their defensive 50.
Yeah, well that's led of course by Hams and McLean and Carlson Cantilla, who just marshal that defensive effort behind the ball.
Elijah Davey picks it up, boot to ball, very wide, out on the full.
Yeah, just a loose kick was never coming back into play, so Hams once again, he will chip it around and find a teammate as he always does.
Coach Tyrrell watching on in the background there as the ball goes forward from Tipalura. Now comes back into Jaden Davey. Looks for Nathaniel Lambton. Just took the mark there. Thought it might have copped some ground on the way through, but the umpires said no. And now on the wing. Had trouble in this area of the ground the first quarter as well. They sort of liked that side of the ground, but just couldn't work it inside their forward 50. Eventually, a 50-metre penalty meant they got a goal on the board. This is a little better. They've gained a fair bit of ground and it's as fast forward as they've got this quarter.
Yeah, they're looking for the big fella Gillett again, but Tiwi were awake to it, had a couple of opponents on him, so he really couldn't get in a position to get his hands on the ball, but got themselves a stoppage in their forward half.
Ball comes up now. Cunningham has support from Bedford, but he's bumped pretty strongly there by Wright and the ball bounces over for a boundary throw in. And Ryan Wharf looks like he's out of action as well. Just some ice on his shin there on the Magpies bench. He's a massive loss for them for the rest of the game. Changed out of his playing top as well, so you'd think his day is done.
Yeah, his knee was heavily strapped coming into the game as well, but we saw him limping earlier on, and he's had almost a breakout season for the Magpies this year. Been one of their best every week.
Another boundary throw in just outside 50 for the Magpies. Can they break through here? Ball goes up, tap down, done. Gives the handball up. Heenan at half forward now, chips it forward, trying to get to the advantage of Somerville, goes to Broadbent, he works it forward now, Dunn picks it up, trying to keep it in front of him. Davey back through traffic, now back inside. Oh, good intercept there from Thompson, though he couldn't take the mark, and the Magpies work it forward again. Bounces through plays, trying to get through there. Snap on goal, will it go through? Stays alive, unkind bounce, and then just tapped through from the Bombers defender. A little better from the Magpies, albeit very untidy.
Yeah, it was a wobbling kick coming in and just over the head of Gillett and bounced just in front of the line. So a chance they move the ball a bit quicker, a bit better, but not the result they were after.
Hams out to McLean, called that numerous times throughout this season, and then out to Phillips as well. Now to Blackney Noda. Just toying with it in the back line here. Back to Hams. Now with Peter Aputimi. Put his teammate under pressure. A few Magpies lurking. Here comes Heenan. Owes his team a goal after giving one away just a few moments ago. And that kick from his teammate has gone out of bounds on the full. Hitting the behind post. Won't register anything.
Yeah, good pressure in the middle of the ground there from the Magpies, but again, an opportunity gone missing. No one standing the mark here, but
poor discipline from the Pies, just not doing those little things, showing them that they're there to play, and as you say, putting anyone on the mark. Katapoulis is the closest man to it now. Ball will come back to Hams, and again, look at this space around him. He's just got plenty of room to run. He's gained about 30 metres on the run there, and we'll just launch it from there. Phillips, he goes wide to Pickett now. Now back to Phillips. Good mark in the middle of the ground there to Cooper.
Clever.
Play on. Oh, awful kick inside 50 again. But Darcy, he'll have a snap on goal. He's hooked it well wide. It's been lucky to make it behind there, but registered a score nonetheless. And we've had just the one goal so far this quarter, Stu. That went to Kim Cantilla. Other than that, it's one behind to North Darwin, and for the Bombers, it's two behind. So keen to get a few goals on the board, make it a little bit interesting for the crowd out there today.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a stalemate, hasn't it, this quarter? Not much happening, and we saw the young fellow Nathaniel Cooper take it on and just opened it up a bit for them, but there hasn't been enough of that, certainly in this quarter.
Hams will pick it up. He has a few to get through. That's got to be a high against Katapoulis, and it is.
Yeah, experienced player, Hams.
Goes to McLean. Again, those two combining. Now to Cooper. Handball over the top. Will want to get it back, and he does. And then he might try to do it again. No, it'll be Phillips from inside 50. Just pokes it through. At the back of it, John Tipalura. Ball comes out of hands. Unsure how he got rid of it. Neither does the umpire, and he pays the free kick against holding the ball. Yeah,
just got the tackle, dragged his arm off the ball, so he couldn't dispose of it properly.
Heenan. He comes up and finds Bonham. And now,
this is better.
In a bit of space, Magpies rolling forward. Blackney Noda. There's a few Bombers there, though they got a slightly unkind bounce. Oh, Blackney Noda, not sure what he's thinking there. He's kicked it to Cunningham, who's instantly under pressure. Here come the Magpies. What can they do here? Somerville dribbles it towards goal, and it bounces through. He's second for the day, and the Magpies finally break through for their first of the second half.
Yeah, much needed goal from North Darwin, but they had the opportunity, the entry before, didn't they? But just a long kick to no one in particular. It was a much better build-up, but put the pressure on, turned the ball over, and in the end, a nice snapshot for goal. So something to build on as we get close to time on in this third quarter.
1 goal 1 for them this quarter, and the Bombers, as we said, 1 goal 3. So bit of a stalemate, but Bombers, if they could get 1 or 2 more, even just 1 more before the 3-quarter time break, hopefully for them and for the crowd out there, the neutrals, it'd give this game a little bit more spice to it.
Well, it's less than 4 goals, so certainly not a blowout and not out of reach for the Magpies if they can string some together.
Looks like they're rolling with a bit of pace in the middle here. Davey, Wilson and Lambton. Umpires just reminding them of the 6-6-6 rule. Bombers caught off guard there. Comes back to Davey, instantly gets boot to ball. Kicks it to half forward, but taken by McLean at half back. Now he plays on, looking out for Pickett. Good pressure there from Jaden Davey. Wins the ball now. No, he doesn't. Goes to Apwatimi, who goes to Phillips, looking for the runner, and Apwatimi kept running. Pushes it across the face, not marked. Finds itself in the hands, though, of Pwajimi. Somerville earns himself the free kick. Pushes out wide. Now into the hands of Klein, who will turn and go. Goes inboard. This is Katapoulis over the top. Now Elijah Davey. Now inside 50. Can they get a mark here? I think it's bounced off the head there of McLean. He'll get it back and handball it forward to Dunn, who will burst away from the pack. In fact, it's Thompson. Then he dropped the ball as well. Not sure how he got rid of it there, but the umpire lets that one go. Now with Jonty Patrick wrapped up in the middle of the ground. Almost 21 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Yeah, it was better coming out of defence from Palmerston then. It just had a little bit more urgency about them. Wanted to move the ball on a bit more quickly, and they got it all the way into their forward 50, but just couldn't get that last possession.
Hams wrapped up by Wilson. Almost got him high, and they've paid it that way.
Yeah, I think the first contact was high, and Hams again, experienced player, drew the free kick.
Finds Pickett, almost went to give it to Cooper. Instead, he'll push it out wide now, looking for John Tipalura. He'll turn and go now. Inside 50, looking for the lead. Kim Cantil will run onto it. Can he make it 5 for the afternoon? Of course he can.
Yeah, just knew when to put the afterburners on, didn't he? Got it over the back and just skipped away from his Palmerston defenders. And that was a pretty easy finish for him. So, yeah, 5 for the day and 4 of their last 5 goals. So he's been a standout in their forward half, as he often is.
Yeah, had a really good afternoon and probably would be leading their best and fairest as well as their goal kicking. You'd think at this point, Stu, maybe a few others. Pickett's been pretty solid all year, though he's missed a few games with injury too.
Yeah, and Parker's had a good season, although he's not playing today, but he's probably missed a few games as well. But yeah, they're an exciting team this year. They'll be playing finals, and it'll be great to see how they cope with the added pressure of finals football in a few weeks' time.
So ball goes up now. Ferguson got hands to it first, but appealing with the umpire while play resumes behind his back. Thompson launches inside 50. Mark taken there from Darcy.
And Michael Thompson's another one of those that's had a really good season for the Bombers as well. He's a bit of a general in the midfield, and I love the way he plays the game, and just got a bit of everything, hasn't he? A bit of excitement and a solid player, and uses the ball well as he did then. Yeah,
been really consistent, and Kurt Dunn's another one off half-back who's probably played every game and been really good in most of those outings. Is Darcy, his kick across the face, still alive, comes back now. John Tipalura, what can he do? Ball on the fall, and there's a free kick being paid going the way of the Magpies.
Yeah, I think that was in the contest. Might have been hands on the shoulders to help him get up so high, but
Heenan finds his captain in Wilson, and the 3-quarter time siren goes after 23.5 minutes. 4-4-28, North Darwin trailing the Tiwi Bombers 8-9-57. So it's a 29-point margin here at Palmerston.
Yeah, so just 2 goals to 1 in that quarter. As we mentioned, Kim Cantilla kicked the 2 Tiwi goals to give him 5 for the game. They've only had the 3 goal scorers in the game. Thaddeus Port Jimmy with 2 and Michael Thompson 1. And 2 each for Deacon Somerville and Tom Gillett for the Magpies, who they haven't really looked like being a threat in the game, but the scoreboard says that if they can string a couple together, they're within reach.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it'll happen. They need to double their score and then get a few more points for good measure to just take the lead. But look, anything's possible. Stranger things have happened, and we'll see what comes in that final quarter after this three-quarter time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Cazalys Arena in Palmerston for AFL&T's coverage of round 15 action of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season. North Darwin, as they're known today, Palmerston Magpies, trailing the Tiwi Bombers. 4 goals 428 to 8 goals 957 as we head into this final instalment, and we're hoping for something a bit more exciting than what we've seen the first 3 quarters. Been relatively slow paced here. I'm Will Zwar, with me is Stu Davis. And Stu, what do you think we're in store for in this final quarter?
Yeah, Palmerston have just been hanging on really, haven't they? And I don't know, I suspect maybe the game will open up a bit and Tiwi will put on a bit of a show in this final quarter, but we'll wait and see how it pans out.
Patrick takes the mark on the wing and then he pushes it down the line. We'll get on to Somerville, who's kicked 2 goals in this game. Goes to the top of the square. Probably got an unkind bounce there, the Magpies, although they work it back now. Handball comes out. Snap around the body towards goal. Defender on the last line of defence takes the mark. I think that might have been Kurt Dunn there. Pushed out now, Thaddeus Porgini over the top to Broadbent. Porgini will keep running, but instead he'll go into Thompson. Thompson gets a handball out wide. One bounce, and then he just stops in his tracks. Plenty of space again. Hot day out there in Palmerston. William Ankara, been pretty quiet today. Pushes the ball further down the field to Thompson. He'll play on, get inside the paint. Is that a shot on goal? Just short. Heenan got fist to it and the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw in.
Terrific from Thompson though, wasn't he? He was involved in the play deep in defence and had a couple of touches, kept running, and in the end had the final kick towards goal. Fantastic.
Ball will go up now. Taken there by Ferguson. Not a good kick, but Wilson's made it work. Handball out of the danger zone. Now back to Patrick. A lot of numbers around the ball, trying to get the ball from him. And then the kick goes inside 50. Cantilla, just taps it up to himself with his boot. Now Stanley Tipalura, snap on goal. Hooks it through for
I think it's a goal.
He's got it through.
He has it. And Kim Cantilla there almost looked like a bit of Gaelic football work, trying to flick it up with his toe. But a great finish from Tipalura, who, as we said before, hasn't had one of his biggest days, but that was he had the opportunity then, and a terrific finish.
They call that the solo, do they? The little tap up to yourself. Good work there from Kim Cantilla, who's already got 5 today, so I'm sure he'll be happy to share them around, and he tried to pass off a few earlier in that second quarter as well, although without a lot of success.
Yeah, so that first goal of the quarter really, Palmerston needed it to be them, and it wasn't. And I think T will be hoping that they can open the game up now and let the floodgates open a bit. But Palmerston, of course, will have different ideas.
Need to gain a little bit of percentage, the Bombers. They're about 25% below St Mary's and Nightcliff, and that could be important come the finals if they're on the same amount of wins. Ball comes through now to Nathaniel Lambton, bounces off his hands. Davey tried to get a handball out to Wilson, who then scoops it up, and then he just gets a short one into the pocket. He'll open up the angle, snap around, umpire barely moved, and Magpies get a goal on the board, instant reply.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pick up who it was. Might have been Spencer Fox, not sure, but a good finish, and Sean Wilson involved a couple of times there, the Magpies captain, and was better use of the ball going inside. And yeah, I wondered about the wisdom of just playing on straight away, hooking around off one foot, but knew exactly what he was doing, and an answering goal for North Darwin Magpies.
Nathan Dowsett says the score sheet. His first of the afternoon, and
he's normally the fullback, so obviously giving him a different role late in the game.
Possibly his first of the season.
So a great finish and some encouragement there for the Palmerston Magpies, as looks like there's another set-up infringement here.
That's their second warning. Is that not a free kick?
It is. Looks like it'll be umpire Daniel Lancaster there throwing the ball back, and Brady Ferguson takes the free kick.
Pushes it out wide now to Patrick.
Gone the one white, one black boot option in the second half.
Dedication to the club colours. He goes inside 50 now. Blackney Noda gets a fist over the top, just skins it, I think, enough on it to get it over. But he's given away a free kick to the big fella, Tom Gillett, who's kicked 2 today, as we know already. Just a bit too much contact in the back, I think, from Blackney Noda.
Mouthguard in the sock. He's shaping up to have the long shot at goal from just inside 50 when he kicks it here, right out on the boundary line, as you can see. Hasn't had a huge day, but he's given them some presence up forward, hasn't he?
Comes in now. He's got a decent bit of oomph behind it, but not accuracy, unfortunately, for him. Cazalys, meanwhile, has a snap-on goal. Hams takes a mark, last line defence again. They've done that well today, the Bombers, just making sure that that goal line is always manned. Now they go back to Pickett. Oh, just had the right amount of gas behind that one as well, but it was only about 30 centimetres above the ground for the duration of the kick, that one from Pickett. As Bedford, he gets it in the middle of the ground, gets it back there to Thompson, pushes it down to Port Jimmy. Short one over the top there. Oh, Puruntatameri Juniors slipped over. We'll have to try and work it out. Bombers will make this work. Port Jimmy has support and he gives it off to Cooper, though wasn't to his hands at all, wasn't to his advantage, and goes over the boundary line.
Yeah, just a bit too cute, bit too far out in front, and couldn't keep it in play, but good movement of the ball around the outer side of the ground. Michael Thompson again involved, was terrific deep in defence and running forward.
So ball goes up, inside 50 for the Magpies, though it's a free kick. Sorry, for the Bombers, but a free kick going the Magpies' way. Barnett. G again, kicked it to a 2-on-2 very wide, and Bombers, that's a win for them as it goes over the boundary line and they get a neutral contest on the wing.
Yeah, basically again just kicking to a stationary player who had players running at him, so not really much chance there.
Ball up inside. Comes back now. Oh. Connor Wright gets through 1 or 2, and then it's tapped down from Cazalys. Only as far as Bedford, who goes inside 50. Mark taken there by Willie Munkara. Probably only his 3rd or 4th touch of the day. Been very, very quiet. Goes in short, looking to set up a teammate. Goes through hands at the back, though. Now Lang, he'll pick it up. Pushes it out wide. Pressure was coming in from Bedford, though he had enough time and space to take an uncontested Mark Agnew. Now goes down to Cazalys and goes over the boundary line.
Yeah, again, just not quite hitting the target and sees it over the boundary line, but Tiwi haven't been a lot better either going forward in this quarter. So 1 goal apiece in the 4th quarter as we tick past 8 minutes.
Ball goes up, tap down there by the 2 rucks. No one really got an advantageous possession out of there. Phillips trying to pick it up, running back through traffic. Now Hams comes, picks it up. There'll be a free kick, and it looks like it's going the way of the Magpies. Deacon Somerville looking a bit worse for wear. Unsure if he's copped a bit of a corky, maybe.
Gee, I thought he'd snapped his ankle or something the way he reacted, but he's up on his feet now and kicking the football, so... But he's picked out an opponent. Looks like Kurt Dunn back there. So another turnover, and Tiwi will rebuild from the back half. Oh, that kick's just missed the target as well. So a little bit untidy in this final quarter.
29-point margin here. Time ticking down. Ball goes up now taken straight out of there by Broadbent. Boot to ball straight away as well. The camera's just in a bit of a lag at the moment as Davey got it forward. It looks like there's I don't know if it's a free kick paid or the mark's been paid, but a few whistles blown there. Now goes inside 50. Hams, easy uncontested mark again. They've done that way too many times so far today already, although the marking effort not great from the Bombers. Luckily, they've got plenty of space as Phillips gets it down onto the wing now. 2 Magpies to work with each other. Heenan picks it up, turns around, back inside, gets it to the run there of Wright. Wright pushes it out. Now to Dowsett. Dowsett from a long way out goes to the top of the square. Oh, hits the post.
Yeah, that was a lot better from Palmerston, wasn't it? The build-up was good, the ball use was good, and Dowsett once again took the mark, wasted no time, got on with it, but just unfortunately for the Magpies, hitting that post on the right-hand side.
Now back to Hams in the back pocket. Finds Pickett. Goes down the line looking for Bedford, who takes it and then keeps running. Gives a hands off to the runner. Told to keep going. Finds a player inside 50 in Darcy, who takes the mark.
Yeah, another fantastic passage of play from Tiwi. I haven't had a lot of them today, but when they've broken it open, they've moved the ball pretty easily from one end to the other, and Kim Cantilla involved again, and a chance for Darcy to score his first goal.
Yeah, he'd love one. He's had a few shots today, but yet to secure a major. Any shots now, very close to the man on the mark, mind you. And that one also wide, almost looked like he was aiming to the left as well, just to try and get it around that man on the mark. Didn't look like he put everything into it either, so perhaps could have done better with a bit more of a run-up and a bit of distance between him and his opposition. Here comes Heenan. He'll play on from full-back. Just looking to get it long. That's better. Finds the target uncontested this time. Barnett pushes it wide looking for Deacon Somerville, who didn't break stride. Gets a handball over the top to Lampton, who's got Cooper closing. Has to get boot to ball pretty quickly. Just the wrong side of the post.
Wow, that was one end of the ground to the other from Palmerston, something we really haven't seen today. And again, just unfortunately not the finish they were looking for, as Tiwi themselves look to go coast to coast from the back half, but albeit a bit more slowly.
And it's this quarter's, I think, the pressure and the I guess the competition has been taken away from the contest. Has been a little bit more flowy, though not really with any great skill or with any flow or accuracy in front of goal either. Throws on for a bit of a torpedo inside 50. Oh, he's taken the mark there as Darcy again. He'll have another crack.
Michael Thompson just off of one step goes the big torp, and I think more from fortune than skill, it lands in the lap of Edward Darcy, who gets another crack.
See how close he gets this time. Comes in. Again, very close, though that one is much straighter, and he gets his first of the afternoon. And as I think you said before, Stu, his first senior game this year, which means his first senior goal as well.
Yeah, that's right. He's played some under-18s football for Wanderers, and I think he played a game for Banks earlier in the season, who, of course, Banks and Tiwi have an alignment between their the Tiwi Premier League side and Banks' senior side, which plays in the Premier League Reserves competition, and you might have seen them in the break warming up. They'll be playing the final game here after this one. So yeah, a good finish eventually from Edward Darcy, and he's certainly done enough today to show that he belongs at this level.
Yeah, had a few shots on goal. Needs to work on his radar, but he's definitely been competitive and probably one of their more lively forwards up there today. Obviously, Kim Cantilla with the 5 majors. Hard to beat him. As the Magpies move forward, Cooper picks it up, running back, pushes it forward to Hams now. Just tells him to settle. North Darwin really not a lot left in this game for them. They'd want to try and grab a couple more goals if they can, just for something for their fans to celebrate, as Thompson comes in, pushes it to Daly. It's been missing this last quarter as well. Thompson running through the middle, just pokes it forward. Oh, nearly came off hands and into Tipalura, who looks like he might have hurt his knee. Meanwhile, Rust picks it up and he pushes it forward, but again just turns it straight over. Uncontested turnover mark. Cooper Daly beckoning for a lead, pushes it to Pickett. Cut off and then kicked forward. Oh, almost a comedy of errors there as Hams picks it up, gets tackled. Blackney Noda pushes it out wide. Now Somerville worked it out wide. Comes to John Tipalura, just takes it, gets around his opposition, pushes it to the top of the 50. Hubert Cunningham, ball goes through his hands. Will be worked back from the Magpies though. Connor Wright just bounces off bodies there. Then back to Ferguson. Turns it over to Pickett this time. Short, sharp one, cut off by Heenan.
Wow.
Spice really taken out of this game here. Ex-AFL players making mistakes as well. Paddled up there. Think this might be Apuatimi. He goes inside 50 to a lead. Purin Tatameri Jr. He takes it, almost wanted to roll around here. He'll play on now, beckons a lead. Just pops it up to the top of the square and easy, as you like, uncontested to Darcy again, who's kicked the last goal.
Well, it was, as it turned out, a perfect... Oh, he's giving it off here. And I think that might be Hubert Cunningham, is it, that's got himself on the scoreboard. And Edward Darcy, you wouldn't think that someone playing in their first game for the season would be looking to share it around like that, but it was. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was Cunningham in the end. But yeah, good build-up and a good Tiwi goal in the end.
Sharing the love, Hubert Cunningham, 1 goal to his name.
And I'm not sure that he's played too much this season either, Hubert, so that may be his first goal for the season. But yeah, Tiwi just doing enough really in this game. They hold that 40-point margin now as we tick past 17 minutes in this final quarter of the TIO NTFL round 15 clash, and doing it pretty comfortably in the end.
Cunningham, just the 1 game for the Banks Premier Reserve side as well, so imagine that's his first Premier League goal this afternoon too. Good to see the young Bombers sharing the love as Porgini puts on a tackle. Tipalura another tackle. Here they come through now. Kick towards goal. By himself again in the goal square, and then a late bump there from Klein. And I think that might be Darcy again. He's turning into a really impressive target in the forward line.
Yeah, 50-metre penalty's been paid for that late contact, and yeah, it's just opened up a bit for Darcy in this last quarter. He's been a focal point and gets himself on the scoreboard again.
Second goal for him, and he set one up and probably has 3 behinds to his name as well. So added 2 goals to the scoreboard, but more importantly for him and his development, just been able to be a presence in the forward line too.
Yeah, just another option up there, which is they've got plenty of them. So Kim Cantilla hasn't added to the scoreboard in this final quarter, but he's the leading goal scorer of the match pretty easily with his 5 goals.
Spencer Fox back in the middle. Been pretty quiet today. Tough task up against the much bigger Broadbent. Well, he gets a hit out there. A free kick paid though. Will go the way of the Magpies in the hands of Ryan Bonham. Plays on, rolls onto his left and pushes it to a lead in the pocket. Couldn't be taken there by Dowsett, who kicked a goal in this quarter as well. McLean sells a little bit of candy and then pokes it forward, looking for Daly. Pushes over the top to Nathaniel Cooper at half-back. Now with Thompson. He goes forward into Cantilla as well. Handball forward Tipalura, a few to beat, rolls onto his left too, now works it inside 50, one-on-one. Couldn't be taken there by Dunn. Then gets it to Darcy. Can he get 3 for the quarter? Check side.
Yep.
And it's got it through.
Yeah, they're all celebrating. Just, as I said, this game's really opened up for Edward Darcy in the last quarter, and he's got 3 last quarter goals. And every time the ball comes near him, it looks like he's going to do something magical with it, and as he has then with, as Will described, the check side kick across the boot and through for another goal. So this has been Tiwi's most productive quarter in the end, as I sort of suggested that it might blow out a bit in the end if they can get a bit of a roll on, and they've certainly done that in the last 10 minutes or so, as they've added 5 goals in this quarter and the Magpies just the 1.
Yeah, a bit of spice, as we said, bit of tension taken out of this game. It's just allowed both sides to open up a little bit, but in particular it's the Bombers who've capitalised on that. As you mentioned, 5 goals in this quarter, 3 of those coming to the youngster Darcy, Edward Darcy. One of those also to Hubert Cunningham. And I think the other one there came to Stanley Tipalura. This ball goes across the face now, out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, just rotating a few players around. Kurt Dunn spending a fair bit of time in the forward line in this last quarter. It was him that had the shot then, but was off target. So just experimenting a bit.
Magpies look to go long. Beats all comers. Now comes to Cunningham, kicks it into the man on the mark there. Get close to the boundary line, but stays alive now with Barnett. Working forward is Wilson. Chips it forward. Finds a target there as Agnew pushes it inside 50 now. Blackney Noda got hands to it first, then just grubbed it away. Phillips will get to it now on the wing. Plenty of space again. Has a runner in Cooper. Much quicker, as we know. Sells a bit of candy and then takes them on. Takes a bounce. Goes to a lead at high half forward. Overhands. Working back through traffic now. John Tipalura will put some pressure on. So too will Bedford. Gets it to Davey, who's under pressure. And then he goes to Elijah Davey. Oh, nearly bounced off the chest there of Wright. Just calling for some play up the ground. And then just gets a pretty high one. Not really looking for anyone in particular. And it's punched over the boundary line as you're watching AFL and T's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season here from Cazalys Arena in Palmerston, and it is a 52-point margin in favour of the Tiwi Bombers. North Darwin, just the 5 goals today, and pretty lacklustre affair from them.
Yeah, just they've scored in every quarter, but just in singles, and 2 goals in that second quarter. So they've kept having a go, but just outclassed today as they work it out of defence now. But runners on the outside, but again, the kick out in front gives them a chance as they build it around the outer side of the ground.
Now pushed through there from Ferguson, inside 50. I think this might be Agnew again. Looks like he's going to go back and wind up. Maybe he looks a little bit uncertain about the distance all of a sudden. There's a little skip as he starts his run up and then pushes it through. Oh, he's gone through for a goal. 6-6-42 and reduces the margin. Now that is at 46 points. With Darwin trailing.
Yeah, good finish. I'm not sure he flushed it off the boot, but had enough purchase on it and got it going. But that was almost the best build-up for the game for the Magpies, as they brought it out of their defensive half and worked it round the outer side of the ground and got some players out in space, and including Agnew in the end, who made a good lead, took the mark about 40 metres out and went back and backed himself and put it through. So yeah, 46 points, 24 minutes gone in this round 15 clash, and Tiwi really for most of the game have just been doing enough to to make sure they get the points out of it, but have added 5 goals in this last quarter as it's opened up a bit.
Works it down now. Mark taken by Carlson Cantiller at half-back. Plays on or dances around Catapoulis. Now goes down the line. Cooper goes through his hands. Sells some candy. Now pushes it over the top. Comes off hands in their back line out, or taken high. Darcy gives away the free kick. And looking a little bit ginger, there's Declan Barnett. Been okay today for the Magpies, although that kick looks not great off the boot, but finds its target. Pushes in and finds right off to, or nearly to Rusty. They've made hard work for themselves. Goes back to right. Now pushes down the line. Very wide over the boundary line and over the fence as well, as the seconds tick away in this one.
So just have to wait for the ball to be retrieved, and clock will stop while it comes back over the fence. And now the boundary throw in, but yeah, Tiwi be happy to walk away with the points, of course, but not one of their more electrifying performances.
Ball comes now into the hands of the Magpies. One last assault forward. Pickett double-fisted it away. Picked up by Somerville. And then Elijah Davey launches it to full forward. Unkind bounce. Pickett keeps it alive, rolls over that boundary line.
Yeah, bounced at right angles, didn't it? But Pickett kept his eyes on it, stayed in the contest, and saw the stoppage as the game ends, and one that's resulted in a pretty comfortable win for Tiwi in the end, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. 13 goals, 10.88, and it was 23 scoring shots to 12. So the Bombers almost doubled North Darwin's score there in the end, and probably telling a little bit of where these sides are. You probably would have expected Tiwi to play a little bit better, try and get themselves into some form, as they've got a pretty big task next week against Southern Districts. Meanwhile, for the Magpies, it's not exactly the result they would have wanted on a day where they're celebrating or commemorating, I guess, their past North Darwin captain John Stokes and also their North Darwin heritage. They'll be looking forward to next week when they play against Darwin Buffaloes, and hopefully another chance for a win for this season.
Yeah, look, and it wasn't all doom and gloom for the Magpies, that's for sure. They were able to stay in the contest. The margin was less than 5 goals at three-quarter time. Gave themselves a chance, although you got the sense that for most of the game too, we really never got out of second gear, did they? But managed to string a few together, and that was when Edward Darcy really popped up in the last quarter and made his presence felt deep forward for Tiwi, kicking 3 goals in his first game for the season for them, so that was terrific. But yeah, he finished with 3, as I said, all in the last quarter. Kim Cantilla was the major goal scorer of the day, kicked 5, and Thaddeus Port-Jimmy kicked a couple, and singles apart from that. And for the Magpies, Deacon Somerville got 2, Tom Gillett got 2, and a couple of singles. But as far as best players go, I think you mentioned Bedford. He was terrific through the midfield. I really like the game of Michael Thompson. He's really a link man for them, isn't he? He works his way into the back half to help out. He's often the short 45 target to come out and really creates something for them going forward. Port Jimmy was good up forward. Kim Cantilla, of course, and McLean and Hams in the back half. Scott Bedford was terrific, and Nathaniel Cooper. I think every team would love to have a Nathaniel Cooper in their side. Just adds some excitement, adds some flair, takes the game on, and he was really good. And for the Magpies, big Gillett gave him a presence, didn't do a hell of a lot, but Dowsett was good at both ends of the ground. Deacon Somerville had a fair bit of the ball. Sean Wilson did some things, and Jaden Davey always looked dangerous. So in the end, I thought, Tiwi would just be happy to get the game over, take the points, and probably not look back at this one too much and move on to next week.
Yeah, absolutely. You've ticked all the boxes there, Stu. For what it's worth, I think my 3-2-1 would be probably Michael Thompson best on ground. In the end, I think he was probably more consistent. Bedford for 2. He was probably the more influential around the ground, but probably died out at certain stages of the game. And I think you probably can't leave out Kim Cantilla.
Yep.
The difference in that first half with 5 goals. And unlucky would be Nathaniel Cooper. I thought he was really good, and looking forward to see how he goes for what will be probably one of his first senior finals series coming up.
Yeah, terrific. As I said, Tiwi playing finals, short of playing finals this season for the first time for a number of years, and for a lot of these young players it'll be a great experience for them, and it'll be great for the football public to see how they cope with finals football in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll leave it there. In the end, it was a 46-point win to the Tiwi Bombers as they continue to try and climb up the ladder ahead of the final series and place themselves as best they can, as they continue their campaign to lift that cup. I've been Will Zwar, with me Stu Davis. Pleasure to have you, and look forward to bringing you the footy later this afternoon from Gardens Oval.